Close your eyes. Okay, I said close your eyes. Damn, can you listen? Imagine this. You're in the Kaiju multiverse as Kikoru, a young woman enlisting to join the Japan Defense Force. You're on your last test, which is a Kaiju neutralization test, and if you pass this test, your dream of joining the Japan Defense Force finally comes true. You're known as a once-in-a-generation talent. You trained your whole life for this moment. When the final exam begins, you take off, and one by one you take out different Hanju and Yoju. You even save the classmate's life along the way. You get to the last Hanju, and in theatric feat, you destroy it while dazzling everyone that's spectating. The test is announced as concluded, and you're known as the test hero, aka the smart kid who let everyone cheat off their Scantron. Hey, shouts to you if that was you in grade school. As everyone relaxes and the dust settles near you, a shadowy figure remains standing in wake, staring at you, lurking, and smiling at the ultimate despair it's about to bring. The dust fully settles and you finally notice it's a kaiju as it lifts up its hand to shoot you and take your life. That is quite the eerie entrance Kaiju number 9, the virus kaiju, was given to this riveting series known as Kaiju number 8.
But have no fear, for I'm here to save you. Simply open your eyes and that kaiju's gone. But unfortunately, now you're looking at me, which could very well be worse. Welcome back to our channel, The D-Trope. It's your boy Dalton, aka the Sly Senpai, and I'm just back here today to talk about Kaiju number 9. The creature whose ultimate goal, I believe, is not to kill humans, but actually evolve us. But we'll get into that as the video goes on. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is peak comedy, bro, come on.
Evolution, despair, and virus. These are all things used to describe Kaiju number 9. If you've been reading this series, then you should be no stranger to our story's main antagonist, Kaiju number 9. 9 was introduced shortly into the series in chapter 6. Early 9 was shown as a force to be reckoned with. I describe his appearance as a western cowboy-looking kaiju, which at that point in the story was very fitting because his main attack was to shoot the ends of his fingers as bullets. Hey, shout out to Andy from Undead Unluck. If you know, you know, and if you don't, then you're uncultured. But that's what you're on our YouTube channel to get, right? Culture. From 9's introduction, we've known that he's a very different kaiju from others that we've seen. At this point, only Kafka in his Kaiju number 8 form had human intelligence as a kaiju, but Kafka's a very special case because he's our hybrid shonen main character. Upon 9's entrance, Kikoru is confused as the first thing he does is shoot Kikoru and then proceeds to revive the Hanju that Kikoru killed, and then he tells it to go eat Kikoru. After this, he revives multiple kaiju, one after another, and on top of this, they're all stronger than before they died. Once he resuscitates the dead kaiju, he leaves without a trace. At this point in the story, only Kikoru had really seen the true form of Kaiju number 9, a humanoid. Even at chapter 7, this was an astonishing sight to see. A quite literal monster other than Kafka was capable of human intellect, and it had this sort of strength. Questions immediately went through my head, like is Kafka not the only hybrid? What created Kaiju number 9? Why is it so smart? And why did it choose to show up now, of all times? But if there's one thing that 9 did do, it was show us early just how weak we are, and just how much he'll make us despair for that weakness in times to come. The next time we see 9, he's in a public bathroom, and we see his more maniacally comical side. Now that I think about it, number 9 just cracks a lot of jokes in general, even in mid-fights. He for sure got on black Air Forces at all times. But in the bathroom stall, 9 is scrolling through a cell phone of a human that he just presumably absorbed. He is absolutely baffled and honestly a little annoyed to see that nobody died from his antics during the Defense Force's final exam. If that doesn't show the demon time that 9 is on, I don't know what else does. As 9 is scrolling through the phone, he gets a phone call, so he answers. And it just so happens that it's the human's boss that he absorbed that's calling, basically saying, get your ass back to work. Then, almost like a skinwalker, he quickly morphs himself into that human he absorbed to pretend like he's the newbie crew member of the Kaiju cleanup crew, or as we better know them, Kafka and Reno's old crewmates. Which was once again a shock factor for us, because a Kaiju that we don't know much about can now blend into society like normal. But this is the beauty of good early villain writing by Matsumoto. We have a character who is seemingly strong, has specified kaiju powers, human intellect, and now we throw in the ultimate spy ability of camouflage. Anytime 9 is in a panel, he's oddly captivating, and due to his unpredictability, you constantly fear what he'll do next. 9 gives us many reasons early in the series to consider him a serious threat, and his accomplishments only make him further grow into the ultimate antithesis of this story. 2 months after the first number 9 events, we next see 9 uncannily show up on the scene again, back facing Reno and Iharu. He's camouflaged as the crew cleanup member on the battlefield. Both Reno and Iharu are confused as this is their first mission on the Defense Force. So why would a crew cleanup member be here if the mission's still active? 9 in human appearance pays them no bother, as 2 things confused him. First, why are all the Yoju that he made dead and not reviving? And second, how did the Defense Force figure out his plans? Had they not figured out, then 9 finally would have killed multiple people in the Defense Force. He turns around and without hesitation makes an attempt to take Iharu's life, and then tells Reno and Iharu that he's not leaving empty-handed, and one of them is coming back with him to be a living test sample. This was another gaze into the psyche of number 9. Could he possibly be using humans as host test samples for the kaiju that he creates? We'll get into that later. Exchanging blows,
Pause.
he begins toying with them, dragging on the fight while also trying to understand human psyche as well as how the human body works. 9 doesn't understand humanity, yet he has a deep yearning to learn more about our species. This is a theme shown over and over in this story. We watch him viciously attack Reno over and over again, and it's quite literally hard for anyone to watch or read. Once again, showing that there's no one in this series that will make us feel fear and despair more as readers than Kaiju number 9. And the same can also be said for anyone that's actually in the series. However, in typical hero fashion, Kafka swoops in to save Reno and Iharu in his Kaiju number 8 form. The first thing 9 asks Kaiju number 8 is why he's getting in the way of another kaiju like himself. When I read this part, it really gave me Parasite vibes if you've ever seen that anime show. Almost as though Kaiju number 8 doesn't have full control over Kafka yet as it should. Hopefully we'll learn more about this as the series progresses. But luckily Kafka is overpowered at this point and destroys 9 in their first encounter. Kafka literally gets 9 within one punch of death, but the Defense Force came out of nowhere to stop both of them and honestly fumbled the bag. Also funny that hindsight is everything, but the Defense Force really dropped the ball in not letting Kafka kill number 9 right then and there, and if you would have let him do it, you might still have the Director General. But I'll keep sipping my tea. 9 gets away, but not before telling Kafka that he knows his profile, so next time he'll kill him. And y'all, I don't know what 9 knows, but I feel like he understands things to their kaiju core. Shit joke, I know. We even learned that 9 created kaiju number 10. 10 started off as a fortitude level of 8.3 and climbed up to a 9.0. Kaiju number 10 also led an attack on the 3rd Division base that almost ended in many members from the 3rd Division's deaths, including Vice Captain Hoshina. In the end, number 10 is defeated, and we later learn from 10 himself that he was just a prototype of what 9 can create. I have a theory that 10 is still on the kaiju side. He's just looking for a compatible user to weaponize him so that kaiju number 9 can absorb him. If you want to hear more about that, then let me know in the comments though. The next time we see 9, he says, better take that kaiju power that's fallen into human hands and give it back to the kaiju. And he's right back at it, leading a full force ant kaiju attack to kill Kafka and get the number 8 kaiju power for himself. He quite literally molted his old skin and got thicker,
Pause.
and stronger. We learned that 9 has also leveled up his abilities and can split his core into separate pieces and create clones of himself that way. We'll call it Kaiju Shadow Clone Jutsu. So one of the clones comes to fight Kafka and Kikoru, and once again is toying with them, until Kafka turns into Kaiju number 8 and proceeds to demolish 9 once again. The other clone is fighting Captain Narumi, our strongest captain, and is quite literally only fighting him to learn his fighting techniques. To see the extreme IQ 9 has in adapting to Narumi's style very quickly was actually insane. But Narumi uses Kaiju number 1 and takes out 9 like clockwork in the end. We learn all of this was just a diversion, and 9's ultimate goal was always to get the Director General in Kaiju number 2. We then pan over to see 9's main body menacingly looking over Director General Isao, and 9 says, "I found them, a compatible user and Kaiju number 2. That's an interesting choice of words. It seems as though Kaiju number 2 would have been too strong for 9 to absorb by himself. However, since Kaiju number 2 is with a compatible user, aka General Isao, this presents the perfect set of circumstances for 9 to absorb one of the greatest known Kaiju powers and one of the greatest military intellects. This will lead to, dare I say, his further evolution. You'll see why this word evolution is so important when it comes to number 9 as we keep on going. Number 9's intellect is off the charts, but in terms of early combat strength, he's honestly not that strong compared to the 9.0 plus fortitude level Kaiju that we've seen. We see him get washed multiple times throughout this series. Granted, 2 of them were Kaiju shadow clones with partial cores, which directly affects his strength levels. We see Isao and 9 going at it, but it seems as though 9 once again is just testing Isao to see the true power and extent of what Kaiju number 2 holds. Through this fight, he deems Kaiju number 2 a power worthy of himself. Knowing that it's his last chance to take number 9 out, General Isao throws everything he has into one last attack. After withstanding the ultimate attack the general could throw, 9 absorbs Isao. This not only gave him a new look, but also gave him the first culmination of Dai Kaiju powers that we've seen in this series, combining Kaiju number 2 and 9. Evolve number 9 wastes no time in showing us how much stronger he is in absorbing number 2. He shoots the same finger blast that he's used the whole series, but now that same finger blast is supercharged by Kaiju number 2's shockwave ability, and the results are scary. Even Kafka, just from seeing that one attack, can't believe that this is the same number 9 that he just faced. From this moment forward, anything 9 does will be unprecedented and catastrophic. In this new form, we see 9 take on Kaiju number 8 and Captain Narumi at the same time. These were the 2 people that just decimated 9's clones minutes before. This absurd jump in strength shows us that Kaiju number 9 is now the first Kaiju that we've seen with a 10.0 fortitude rating or possibly higher. Number 9 ends this fight by self-destructing to escape for rest, and the last words he leaves us with were, "Goodbye, Kaiju number 8. The next time I make a move will mark the start of the Kaiju era." Meanwhile, as he's running away, Tanjiro's somewhere off yelling for 9's coward ass to get back here and fight. But knowing the level of intellect Kaiju number 9 has, it's an interesting choice of words to say, quote unquote, the Kaiju era. We currently live in the Cenozoic era as humans. Over the course of the Earth's history, there have been multiple new eras that occur. A new era presents new challenges for organisms in that environment. Some organisms evolve to be better suited to their environments. Darwinism, if you will. Even in science, it's said humans evolved from monkeys to humans. In One Piece, Chopper evolved from reindeer to human. That had no relevance. But man, look at little Tony Chopper, man. That little nigga adorable. But back to the Kaiju at hand. I don't think that 9 wants to kill all humans. Honestly, I think that's very far from what 9 wants at all. When 9 comes on the scene, he always sticks to the task at hand, never mindlessly killing people. 9's 2 greatest assets are his high IQ and that he's always evolving or adapting to situations. I think he quite literally wants to usher in the next evolution of the human species, which would in turn mark the start of the Kaiju era. It's why he didn't kill Reno or Iharu early in the series. He truly wanted to use Reno as a test sample for the Kaiju that he creates. 9 is working to create the perfect evolution from human to Kaiju. It's also why the Kaiju that he's been creating have a much higher intellect than normal and can talk. Humans that can evolve under 9's reign can perish in his eyes. This whole raid did nothing but show that 9 is always working to be 2 steps ahead. We have a general idea of where 9 might be, but realistically, we can't reach there, and Kaiju number 9 is off somewhere in Bikini Bottom getting his army of Daikaiju ready. The Kaiju now know where we are at all times, so they always have the advantage of surprise. Until we learn of 9's and the other Kaiju's whereabouts, they will continue to bring the fight to us. All we can do is just prepare for the upcoming war. This war won't just be versus Daikaiju. They will be Daikaiju that will die, resuscitate, and then come back even stronger. It's been shown time and time again that this is what 9 can do with his powers. Not only that, but he's stronger now. Who knows what army of Kaiju with astronomically high fortitude levels 9 will bring next. 9 is a force to be reckoned with, and the cataclysms that he brings with him will end up in the loss of Defense Force lives before the end of this series. Let me know in the comments what you think about Kaiju number 9. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And if you want to hear more anime and manga talk, don't hesitate to click on our channel and check out more videos. Sly Senpai